go out. The race gets underway for 90 minutes around the Brands Hatch Indy circuit. It is going to be an absolute hoot, this. I should think they are all trying to get all 40 of them through Paddock Hill Bend for the first time, and it looks like they've made it, which is wonderful to see. Up to Druids. Matt Priestwood looked like he was trying to go around the outside there of Matthew Highcock, and he's overlapping him. He's going to be on the inside line for Graham Hill Bend as well, and it looks like we've got the change of lead. Yes, Mac Priestwood has gone through to take the lead away from Matthew Highcock there. Looks like the number 87 car of Louis Woodward is there in third position as they head up towards Surtees for the first time in this 90-minute race, Marcus.
It was staggering. There were four abreast at various places down the field going into paddock, but it is Mac Priestwood who leads the way, and he's got Highcock behind him. And Highcock's mirror's absolutely filled with the white car, which is Lou Woodward, who won 2 races yesterday in his 120. And behind them in fourth place at the moment is the car of William Abraham, the black car with the green flashes on it. That's the 209. It's Priestwood in 173 who leads the way.
That's the 80 car of Theo Millward trying to come up the inside of Will Abraham there for fifth.
Changed for second place there because Louis Woodward's found his way past Matthew Highcock in the 555.
So far from getting away and building a lead as he would have wanted to do with that 30-second penalty, he has to serve his drop back and off the circuit. That's the 52 car, is it not? Which is the car of Martin Compton in this first part of the race.
There was quite a lot of smoke at some point mid-grid, don't there?
That might explain it. That's the 19 car that has gone off, which is the Sandro Ballesteros started car. And that's heading for the pit lane now, I can see, I think. And there's another one in the pits as well. At very early stage. Can't take a mandatory stop at this stage. Not until 15 minutes have elapsed.
And of course, if you can fix the car, you can pull a wheel, an arch off a wheel, then you can get going again, as in all enduro races.
That's right. It doesn't mean that your race is necessarily over. It's a great pack of 40 cars, the maximum capacity grid here at Brands Hatch on the Indy circuit for an endurance race like this. Out in front, Matt Priestwood is getting away very nicely, isn't he? He was 1.6 seconds clear at the end of the first lap.
And that's possibly towards 2 now. It looked like he's doing a grand job. Fastest lap, 1:00.75 to Mac Priestwood. Woodward is in second place. Highcock is in third. Abraham is in fourth. Then it's the Millward number 80. And then the Zaxpeed car of Godden, the black car with the yellow, red and orange stripes down the side of it. And behind them it's Richard Riley in 88, Peter Keane, Anthony Seddon, and the Brazilian Antonio Almeida Souza completes the top 10.
So Priestwood heading round, but there's the second place man on screen now, Louis Woodward, who actually did the best lap of the race on the previous lap, although it's only 3 laps down. He's got Matthew Highcock behind him. We saw Louis Woodward out yesterday as well in the 120 Coupe Cup race. He built a car for that as well. The company director from Gloucester, who is 36 years of age, and he started racing 3 years ago in the 116 Trophy and has had some success in that. Here he is with Matthew Highcock, the Silverstone race winner, behind him. And then behind him, it looks like it's the 209 car of Will Abraham still. But Matt Priestwood, the powder coater from Halifax, getting away. Well, I say getting away, the gap's stayed pretty static actually, about 1.5 seconds for the last few laps. Highcock has now done the best lap of the race, the third place driver, 60.68. There's Abraham in fourth in the 209 car, another of the relatively young drivers in the field, 20 years of age from Hungerford.
That sounds very young.
It does, doesn't it? And he's in the CSC Racing prepared car, having done some Rotax MSA karting in the past, and just one season previously in the 116 trophy, building up his experience, but clearly showing a good turn of speed.
We've got 60.68, 60.69, 60.71, 60.75, the top four. Car in the pits. I'll pick up that number.
Yeah, it's a car with a rear bumper hanging off. Oh, and the 88 car, yes, that's the one with the rear bumper hanging off. Ross Riley turning its way through. That's the car he shares with Gary Taylor.
220 is the car in the pits, Ian.
Here's the car with the bumper
It's the
hanging
Fox
off.
one.
Oh, yes. That's the car in 7th or 8th position now.
Pretty savaged down the side, 88.
Yeah, he's had some contact there, clearly, of a fairly robust nature. Not quite sure who with. Possibly not Anthony Seddon in the number 5 car. His car's still looking pretty pristine.
You'll see that that rear valance.
Yeah, he's getting the black and orange flag as well, unsurprisingly. Ross Riley. It might work its way loose, but just because you lose the bodywork, as we've seen today, doesn't necessarily mean that the black and orange flag will go in. So Priestwood continues to lead. I mean, the gap is still roughly as it was. It's been 1.5, 1.4, 1.3. It's now 1.07 seconds. So it has come down by 0.3 that time through. So Priestwood able to make a good start and get away, but not able to build on that necessarily. There is Riley now in the pits, as you can see. They'll they'll stamp that bumper off, and of course they have to go in at an angle and then be pushed back out into the pit lane. I think that's the scrutineer just wants a look at that. Yeah, gives them the sign that it's okay to get back out into the race. So there's Priestwood in the lead of the race. This gap coming down then to Louis Woodward and Matthew Highcock. And Will Abraham in 4th position.
Those two cars absolutely plain. No sign writing, no wraps. And probably find they're about half a kilo lighter.
Yeah, possibly so. All about saving the weight.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. So they're over the line again. 7 laps now completed. It will, if we don't get any safety cars, probably be something like an 88 lap race by the time you take into account the mandatory pit stops, 87 or 88 laps, sort of thing.
They've caught Priestwood now, so Woodward in 87, 555, Highcock have caught 173, Mac Priestwood.
Highcock in 3rd place there, the man from Stockport in Greater Manchester. Just in behind, but now it really is 3, almost 4 cars for the lead, with Will Abraham not too far behind. Priestwood, who was close to winning, and I think, was he 4th in the end in the opening race? 5th, in fact, in the opening race at Silverstone. But it's had a good pace there in both the sprint race and the endurance race.
And it is 4 for the lead because William Abraham has caught them in the 209. And a change of lead. Priestwood runs wide at paddock. He gets gobbled up by all 3 pursuers and didn't lose much momentum, but it was enough to cede those places. And he's got to start to rebuild his attack.
Yeah, he was only 9/10 behind, 9/10 clear of the 4th place car, we should say, Will Abraham, at the start of the lap, so it was inevitable that if he made a mistake he was going to lose 3 places. In the next group, or next pairing, you can see Theo Millward number 80 and Jack Godden number 71, and they're not too far behind. They might well be catching the leading group, possibly aided by that error for Matt Priestwood half a lap ago. So up to complete another lap. It's a new leader then, Louis Woodward, number 87, had a win yesterday in the 120s. Now we've got to challenge for 2nd, I can see out of the window, and it is a change for 2nd because Will Abraham has gone ahead of Matthew Highcock. It looks like Matt Priestwood is going to follow him as well. Priestwood will certainly have the inside line for Druids, and he does go through. So Priestwood back to 3rd, Highcock down to 4th.
And they've been caught by the next pair, which is 80 Millward and 71, which is Godden.
That's right. So it's effectively 6 for the lead here, and you know, such is the similarity in the lap times. It's no surprise that they are circulating that closely. In qualifying, 1 second, 1.1 seconds, 0.1 seconds covered the top 18. in terms of best lap times. And so far, we've still got, I think, 38 cars on the leading lap. The two that we haven't are the ones that have been into the pits. And even Ross Riley managed to get out on the lead lap, having had his bumper ripped off, so that's a good effort. 10 minutes into this race now. 6 cars for the lead. Heading down through Paddock Hill Bend. Gap back then to 7th, that's number 5, Anthony Seddon. There's now Abraham essays a move for the lead. Might leave the door open for Matt Priestwood there on the inside line at Druids, but he can't find a way through. So yes, we're saying 7th is Anthony Seddon, 8th is 111, Antonio Almeida Souza, 9th is number 89, Freddie Tatham, and 10th is the 75 car, Lewis Tyndall and Tom Sibley. We're watching now Jack Godden. He looks to be trying to make a move on Theo Millward there in the number 80 car. They're bumper to bumper, aren't they, through Surtees and McLaren. Very attractive series this, not a championship, but a category of racing. Plentiful supply of these cars.
It also helps keep numbers up, not having it as a championship, because
Yes.
no one can fall out of the running, so to speak.
That's right, yeah. As we've got Abraham around the outside. Priestwood just about holding on to second place. He's now jinking to the left-hand side of the circuit at Druids. He's trying to go around the outside of Woodward again. He might leave the door open for Priestwood
And
there.
Highcock going there as well.
Yeah, he also went for the deeper line. They've all come out in the same order as they went in after all of that. Now, where's Godden gone? Because yeah, he's lost a few lengths all of a sudden to Millward. Yeah, he lost that before the end of the previous lap. A slower lap for Jack Godden that time for him, so possibly a small mistake. This made it just 5 cars for the lead at the moment. I'm sure Godden will close in again before too much longer. Peter Keane, who was pretty quick yesterday, he's only 11th at the moment. As we continue to watch the leading quintet. Dropping down through Paddock Hill Bend once again. Up to Druids, the hairpin they go. 209 is Abraham. 20-year-old from Hungerford. Behind the 36-year-old from Gloucester, Louis Woodward in the lead of the race. 1.6 litre BMW 1 Series, running with a control parts package effectively. Keeps everything very even, keeps the cost down. It's no wonder that we've got a maximum capacity grid, and Matt Priestwood now up on the inside of Will Abraham for second place at Clearways and Clark Curve. It looks like Priestwood's going to get this done. Is he going to carry the momentum all the way along the Brabham Straight and in towards Paddock Hill Bend?
Yeah, will Highcock go with him as well up the inside? He's trying to go into that gap, and he's made it through as well. Highcock's gone inside Abraham. So it is Woodward, Priestwood, Highcock, Abraham, and in the background Millward, who has been caught again by Godden in 71.
Highcock coming back at Priestwood now, looking to get second place away. Abraham also trying to get a position back now from Highcock. He's going to have the inside line for Surtees. He's halfway alongside. Can he do anything with that? I think he can, you know. He has done. Will Abraham back up to third place. We are a minute and therefore about a lap away from the pit lane window opening. It'll be interesting to see if anyone opts to take an early pit stop here. Mandatory 60 seconds. Although not... Oh, there's some cars that have gone off into the gravel, but I think come out of it at Paddock Hill Bend by the looks of it. You can see the gravel clearing there, but the dust clearing. 151 has also been off the circuit. Peter Keane, and he's back on now. He was running in 11th place. He's heading into the pit lane, but too early for a mandatory stop.
An early stop within the window, what does that gain you beyond kind of breaking the routine and getting you a clear pit lane, which could be pretty busy later on, couldn't it?
It could. You've got to bear in mind as well, obviously, the drivers with 2 or 3 team members will be trying to possibly share the driving reasonably equitably, which is not something that the solo drivers have to worry about. So that gives them a strategic edge, if you like. They've got more freedom over the strategy. As it's Priestwood now back into the lead, is he?
What's the
No, it's Woodward still there, sorry.
what's the range of these cars fuel-wise?
Well, they will go the full
go
distance.
the full
There's
distance.
no refuelling within the 116 trophy, so 90-minute race, I think, designed really to accommodate that. So the refuelling doesn't form a part of the strategy. The interesting thing has been the change. It was partway through the last season. We see side by side for second place, by the way. Highcock up on the inside
He's made it.
of Priestwood and back up to second place there. I was watching something going on in the pit lane, but Highcock's back through to second place now. Yes, the banning of pit stops behind the safety car, because that would always be something to look for. 64's been off the road and is back on again as well. So that's Paul Offord. No, he's now Paul Honoured because he's back on the circuit again.
Second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth all running together, but Woodward's made a little bit of a break, hasn't he?
He has.
He's coming in. It looks like there's 2 or 3 of them coming in now.
And this is where we need to try and keep track of the pit stops. Which
so
is
Woodward's in.
Easier said than done.
Highcock is in. Priestwood is in. Godden is in. And the next one through is Seddon, I think. Yes. The 5 car of Anthony Seddon has also come in.
So staying out, Will Abraham, Theo Millward and Antonio Almeida Souza. So most of the first 7 or 8 going into the pit stops as early as they possibly could. You can see a bit of a queue developing in the pit lane, and this is why the cars have to go into the pit lane nose in, and they have to be pushed back out before they rejoin. 2 teammate cars, the DTO cars there, battling away, 101 and 102. Ben Wilshire it is in the 101 car.
Well, Midas Wilshire's son, Ben Wilshire. I was watching the TV karting Super Prix at Clay Pigeon with his father, and we saw the young Jensen Button competing and winning. And I said, that kid's going to be world champion one day. And the day after he was world champion, my first phone call was from Midas Wilshire saying, you were right, did you have money on it? And of course I didn't.
Oh, and that's a source of regret ever since.
Well.
89, Freddie Tatham. He's now 3rd, and he's doing battle. He's actually got 2nd away from Antonio Almeida Souza there. Of course, he hasn't made his stop yet. Will Abraham, it's Tatham hugely sideways. And that's going to allow Almeida Souza back through, I'd think. Is it? Maybe not. Into Surtees corner. No, it's not. Now got a queue of cars coming out of the pit lane again. They've having made their mandatory 1-minute stops.
Yeah, it's 209 that leads, isn't it? And then it's Almeida Silva with Tatham fighting. That's the battle you see here.
Yeah, Abraham ahead at the moment. I feel a little bit sorry for the poor blue flag marshals because they're waving their flags pretty much constantly, I think, during this race now, especially with cars coming out of the pit lane as well. So there's Almeida Souza, and
they were each side of the bright green car there, which is, pick up the number of it.
Yeah, that's the 75 car. That's Lewis Tyndall and Tom Sibley in the pits, and clearly something that's troubling the team. I wonder if there's I don't know, vibration or something that can't quite work out what's causing it. Something like that. 3 abreast down the Cooper Straight there, Marcus.
Yeah, 3 into 1 won't fit through stages. We've seen 2 abreast through there. Another bumper come off, or a side strake or something that's landed in the road. Middle of Surtees corner.
31 was that green car that you saw. Sam Holman started it.
Bright green car.
Looking to see if Will Abraham, there he is again. Looking to see if Will Abraham's still out there. He's stayed out a few more laps than than some of the others. But yeah, I think he's still there. 7 seconds clear of Freddie Tatham in second. Toby Partridge now third. Daniel Scott fourth. Richard Phillips in fifth, and Pete Brand in sixth place. But until we get into the final 15 minutes or so of this race, the order is not going to make a huge amount of sense.
Exactly. 93's Guy Povey starting, isn't it? And I remember Guy Povey racing in production saloons when I was a lad, first reporting on these things 40 odd years ago.
Yeah, and the Poveys, they've come through from the back of the grid, haven't they? They started, I think, on 19 or 20, something like that. Yeah, it was the very back row of the grid, actually. There's the race leader, 209, Will Abraham. So he is still out there. He's got 20 laps in the book now. So he's got a different way on strategy than all of those that were around him, really, in the first part of the race. Obviously, we'd got two of the first group had to serve extra penalties. So just having a look at where that's left them in the order. So 87, Louis Woodward is 22nd. Yeah, so he has lost a bit of time to Matt Priestwood, for example.
Was 30 seconds, wasn't he?
Yeah.
For winning at Silverstone.
Yeah, and he is at the treble 5 car, but he's lost a lot more time than you might have expected.
Yeah.
He seems to have lost a couple of laps, actually, Matthew Highcock. So that's not explained by the 30 seconds extra he's had to stop.
A minute and 30 seconds plus the coming into the pits is, you know.
It's probably is 2 laps.
Yeah.
I reckon that the leader of those that have stopped is Theo Melward and Chris Bayliss now, the 80 car, because that's in 19th position. So they did come in, didn't they? Whether they changed driver or not at that point, I'm not quite sure. It's either Theo Melward or Chris Bayliss out there now, but they're ahead of Matt Priestwood in any case.
But not by much.
No. A couple of seconds. I think they've just gone over the line in actual fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's about a second and a half, 2 seconds
kicked
between
up
them.
some dust at the paddock.
Not the first time, and it won't be the last, I'm sure, today. So 22 minutes gone, so pretty much a quarter of the way through this race now. 90 minutes gives a lot of track time for the drivers. Now that's a battle for position, I think. Yes, for 20th, Anthony Seddon and Louis Woodward, and what effectively is third place, I reckon, overall, because once the sort of pit stops have unwound. Also getting involved there is the 320 car. That is Simon Hopcroft Lopez as well. I think he's probably a lap down in the 320 car. No, he's a lap ahead of them. I beg your pardon, but not as quick as them.
And so we've got Millward in 80, Priestwood in 173, 57 and 87 Louis Woodward. They're the 4 leading stoppers, aren't they? The 17th, 18th, 19th and 20th at the moment.
Yeah, and still a bit puzzled because they've done 21 laps. Matthew Highcock's only done 19. So something has gone amiss there, I think, for Matthew Highcock somewhere en route. Certainly, there he is on screen now. We just saw him there, but seems to be out of contention, if our timing screen is to be believed. He's actually on track with that group, isn't he?
There's Seddon there. Where is Highcock?
There he is.
There.
Yeah. So he's right with the group, but I think he's 2 laps behind them.
It's a grassy move. The black car up the inside there. Got a couple of wheels on the grass.
It's the DTO team ready to push their car back into the pit lane after the 1 minute mandatory stop even. That's the car of James Allen, Sean Frey and Elliot Cole. Yeah, and there they go, back out into the race, whichever of the 3 drivers it is. It's not James Allen, because he did the first stint, and there's 3 of them, and this is now the second stint. Will Abraham's come in, because he's now dropped down the timing screens, well I assume he has. And in fact, yeah, I can see him just heading up the pit lane now, I think, so he's made his stop in 2:09. He's just about to go back into the race. So Will Abraham no longer leading. It's Freddie Tatham that takes over.
And the 44, I think that is Richard Phillips, I think, coming in.
Yep, that's right. Richard Phillips, who shared the car with Matt Neal at Silverstone for the opening round of the series. 6-race series for the 116 trophy this year. Also taking in rounds at Brands Hatch. We're here at Brands Hatch now, so we've been to Silverstone, Brands Hatch, Croft, Snetterton, Silverstone International and Alton Park to round out the season for the 116 trophy. So there is our de facto leader, number 80, Theo Millward and Chris Bayliss, from Matt Priestwood in second. They're actually 16th and 17th, but we think all of the cars ahead of them haven't stopped. Well, what we need to see is where Will Abraham's going to sort of come back into this. He's still showing us ahead of them on screen.
And they're catching the Povey car, aren't they? The silver with the multiple blue stripes.
Yeah, which is 4th. But where is Abraham in all of this? We'll soon figure that out, I'm sure. Well, yeah. I think Abraham's, yeah, he is out there and he is ahead of them. He's 4 seconds clear of Millward and Bayliss. If the lap chart and the timing screen is to be relieved, I think Will Abraham has managed to hold on to a lead here.
Okay. Well, Priestwood just went down the inside of, was that Millward he was dicing with? It was, wasn't it? Into paddock. So I think you'll find that 173 Priestwood is now second of the stoppers. Will Abraham 209. It does appear to be the leader on the first of the stoppers on 24 laps.
There he is on screen now. Someone's just diving into the pit lane ahead of him on circuit. So I'll look out of the window, which is usually the most reliable way to see what's going on. So Will Abraham crosses the line there. And then the next car across the line is, yeah, on the same lap is the 173 car of Matt Priestwood, as you said. So it's Abraham, Priestwood and Millward and Bayliss there.
4 1/4 seconds.
Yeah, 13th, 14th, 15th on the timing screens, but the top 12 have yet to make their stops as far as we know. So Will Abraham did pretty well there to get out ahead. He must have built up a bit of an advantage in those laps he stayed out there. Peter Keane in the 151 car, he has retired from the race with ABS failure, and it was a steering rack failure for 19, Sandro Ballesteros. It's a great shame because they only managed to complete 1 lap in that car. Now we think the reason why Matthew Highcock might be further behind than we thought is we think he's actually served 2 stops. He's got a 5-second penalty now, as well I can see on the timing screen, but if Matthew Highcock has served his 2 stops back to back, which I think he did at Silverstone from memory as well, then that might explain the situation. But he's picked up a 5-second penalty. Connor Anderson, I can see on the screen, has got a 15-second penalty for exceeding track limits. And Daniel Scott likewise.
So you can't stop if there's a safety car.
No.
So if he's done 2 back to back, that could be quite clever.
Yes. Well, because there's always the possibility that if you leave your stop really late and then there's a safety car, you could get into a bit of trouble.
Window.
You've missed the window. So, and I think I've got a feeling that did happen to someone at Silverstone. I'm not quite sure what the outcome of all of that was. But anyway, various drivers with 5 and 15-second penalties. Daniel Scott 15, Connor Anderson 15, Matthew Highcock 5. But we think Matthew Highcock's actually served 2 stops. So it's nearly at the half-hour mark in this race. 1/3 race distance. Freddie Tatham leading on the screens on the road, but yet to make any stops. Toby Partridge 57-second, 93. Alex and Guy Povey, 3rd. Guy Povey at the wheel at the moment.
Shouldn't we expect to see the 888 from newly elected British Racing Drivers Club member Nigel Greensall moving up the order? The car runs 6th at the moment.
That's right.
Hudson, Nigel Greensall.
Yeah, Hudson starting that car.
Car's going slowly on the inside up to Drew's blue and orange car.
Yeah, recovering from a spin, I think. That one. Not sure which one that was. There's the race leader, 89, Freddie Tatham, in the red and white, sort of McLaren-esque livery, Marlborough livery. Toby Partridge second, 15 seconds behind Tatham. The Povey's 3 seconds behind him. And you've got the 16 car, which is a 3-driver car, which was started by Omar Mahmood. Roger Taylor and Harry Portlock will take over in that car. That's 4th. Sam Hopcroft Lopez 5th. And for those that are, 3-driver entries and they're trying to split the driving evenly, now is about the time you'd make your pit stop. Because we've had half an hour or so of the race. I think it's still Will Abraham effectively the leader of those that have made one stop. 209 in 10th place from Matt Priestwood and Theo Millward and Chris Bayliss. And we think that Matthew Highcock is the leader of the 2 stoppers, Marcus.
Yeah, but Highcock's been given a 5-second penalty for something, and a 15-second penalty for 47, Connor Anderson. So 555 Highcock has a 5-second penalty. Connor Anderson in 47, a 15-second one. And Daniel Scott has a 15-second penalty in 48, currently running in 17th place.
So 38 cars we reckon are circulating at present, having lost Keane and Ballesteros. There's Will Abraham then in the 209 car. In the opening meeting at Silverstone, he certainly didn't feature among the top 10. I'm trying to remember what happened to him there. It may have been retirement, thinking about it. Matthew Highcock it was that won at Silverstone on the national circuit from Richard Lakey and Tim Harvey in second, and Louis Woodward and Andrew Haddon in third. Abraham turning his way through Druids. He's sort of maintained that gap, hasn't he, to Matt Priestwood. It's still around about 5 seconds. Not really changed too much since they've served the pit stops. There he is, and Abraham heading around Clark Curve to complete what will be for him the 31st lap. 32 laps now in the book for Freddie Tatham, though, who's yet to make his first stop.
Yeah, that's the 89 car then that leads the way on the lap charts anyway.
And 103, 102, one of the DTO cars there. Frey, Allen and Cole piloted lineup, trying to make a move on the Charles Smith, Jonathan Baker 232 car.
That's got a 15-second penalty as well. That's the car with all that gold wrapping on it.
Yeah, and disregarding the penalty, that's a battle for position in 25th place, and just heading into the pit stops now is the 232 car, which I think therefore is Charles Smith then handing over, or possibly handing over at this stage, to Jonathan Baker. Could be the second stop, I guess. Toby Partridge now showing as the leader, so I think Freddie Tatham must have come into the pit lane. Can't see him from here in the commentary box. But
232's just gone out again. I can see the rear wing of the Tatham car poking out of the garage, so it's dived in nose first to what looks to be front in the garage.
Richard Lakey's having a front right tyre change apparently. Hearing the news from Josh Barrett in the pits there. He's showing 34th at the moment, but obviously a puncture or some tyre damage there he's possibly picked up.
It's the Riley Taylor car. That's the 88's the car that had the rear bumper ripped off it early on, isn't it?
It is,
They're
yes.
running, they're running third, 20 seconds away from the leader, I think.
Yeah, and yet to make its mandatory stop, I think.
Yes.
So Toby Partridge it is that leads in the 57 car. We can see him now in that plain white car, and he's just ahead on the road of Mac Priestwood, actually, isn't he? Who is
Yes, he
net
is.
second place, we think. And actually, Priestwood going ahead of him now, so that's unlapping himself. So that suggests that Will Abraham and Mac Priestwood are now back onto the lead lap, I would think.
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah.
And it's only will be the lead lap once. Now, I think there's just 4 cars yet to make their first stop. Toby Partridge, who we've just seen, the Povies, Ross Ryan, Gary Taylor, and the 305 car, which is Richard Brown, Lloyd Fountain, and Thomas Sykes. So that will sort itself out. Toby Partridge actually leading by only by about 2 seconds at the moment. You can see the Povey car in the background there. Behind Partridge in the 57 machine. It's 36 3/4 minutes of this race have gone. 6 trophy, providing great entertainment for the drivers. These evenly matched cars.
And that's Partridge in the 57. So on 36 laps, Partridge comes in.
So that means that the Povies from the back of the grid are going to take over the lead of the race. And lapping in the 1 minute 2s latterly. Bearing in mind the best lap of the race is a low 60-second effort, isn't it? Not yet anyone have broken the minute barrier in the race so far.
Towards half the field is in the 60s, is in the 60-second bracket.
Yeah.
And it won't be till that fuel load comes down that they'll get a slight reaction there to maybe a touch. That's the Povey car, 93.
With Matthew Highcock right behind it as well, the man that won at Silverstone. And just behind him is the I think that's the 1 car of Richard Lakey as well. Yeah, just ahead of them is the 44 car of Richard Phillips. That might have made 2 stops as well, looking at the timing screen. It's going to be passed by Povey into paddock. Looks like Highcock will try and follow it in the treble 5.
Yeah, Highcock at the moment down in 35th place.
Yeah, out of 38 that we think are still circulating.
We've got the 2 RL Motors cars together. Phillips and the 44. And Lakey, a look up the inside there for the plain white car at the back of your shot. That's the 87 of Louis Woodward running in 7th place.
I think the Fountain and Brown car 305 is probably just headed into the pits, looking at the time screen because it's tumbling down now. So that's just leaving 2 out there having yet to make a stop. I want to think about it. I meant to say this before the Clio race earlier on, but I forgot. But he's in the pit lane working hard now. So Trevor Gregory, who often works in race admin, but often sometime a hot hatch racer as well. best wishes to him and his fiancée Joanne, who are getting married a week from now. So good luck and best wishes to Trevor from all of us. But I can see from the chat on the race meeting WhatsApp group that he's still working hard down there in the pit lane. So we've got 50 minutes of this race left to go. And very soon I think we'll have a timing screen that sort of resembles the actual order, at least until we get to the next round of pit stops. I mean, I'm pretty tempting fate, so I'll touch wood as I say this, but I'm a little surprised we've not had a safety car as yet in this race.
Stop my stopwatch now.
Yeah, okay. Give it 30 seconds. But no, we've had one or two offs, but nothing that's required a recovery by a third party. So it's been all pretty clean so far. We did have, I think, might have been 4 safety car periods at Silverstone.
88's now on top. That's the Riley and Taylor car.
But just because it's a lightweight car, of course, it's got no rear bumper, so that's why that is. Whilst Riley started that car, hand over to Gary Taylor, who's the director actually of the 750 Motor Club these days. 1 of 9. And offering his expertise to the club.
That's the Povey car I just saw coming out of the pits.
Yeah, there you could just see it flash through there as the new leader comes through. That's Riley and Gary Taylor in number 88. And that's one of the many cars that have been lapping in the 60-second bracket, 60.61 the best. Which is pretty smart.
Who's best of all? 60.37 there.
Yeah, I think it is Will Abraham, isn't it, that's got the best lap of the race.
Running in second place. 209, Will Abraham.
Went well yesterday in the sprint races as well. So proving himself a very good driver. Oh, that's a big moment.
57, that's done a lot of damage to the back, I think.
It has, and he's going to manage to drive away, but not only is the bumper dragging, he's also got the hatchback that's popped open as well. He's
Toby Partridge.
It was, who was leading at one point. That's an odd accident there. He's clonked the barriers on the inside at Graham Hill Bend somehow. But he's managed to drive off. And hopefully he'll just drive into the pit lane to get that attended to. Yeah, I can see it sort of indicating to head into the pit lane from our commentary box window. So, but thankfully he has driven off, which means that we shouldn't need any caution period.
It was 2 minutes, I think, and 13 seconds after you mentioned the prospect of a safety car for something happening, but
Toby Partridge
you got away with it.
Done me proud, and yeah, we've got away with it. So there's the 209 car, and he's just behind Antonio Almeida Souza in 111. So I think Almeida Souza must have made another stop. He's driven straight into the garage there, hasn't he?
Yes.
But the team are just frantically
ripping anything off it that'll come off.
Yeah, close the hatchback, and nobody's just saying, well, get back out into the race.
And they'll find it won't lock.
Yeah, that might be the issue if it's like clonk at the back.
As you say, it was an odd place to go off.
So we'll see if he gets back out into the race. Can't see him appearing yet down the pit lane.
That's Abraham, isn't it? Passing Almeida Souza.
That's right, yeah. Almeida Souza 27th on the timing screen. So I suspect he may have made an extra stop. Right out. Pit lane's starting to get a bit busy again. I think Matt Priestwood's been in for another stop. So he's certainly made a second stop now.
As they pushed the 173 back, the bright green, metallic green car came in and swooped across into its garage for space.
Little tight. That's where Toby Partridge went off, where the advertising hoarding has been deranged. So Abraham turns his way through Clearways and Clark Curve once more at exactly 45 minutes into the race. Off the circuit goes number 16. And that's the car shared 3 ways. It was started by Omar Mahmood. Not sure who's on board now, Roger Taylor or Harry Portlock possibly. Off onto the grass on the exit of McLaren.
I think he's just looking for a clear space to rejoin.
Yeah. Before he comes back out into the race. There's the Toby Partridge car. 57 back out into the race.
It's made a fair mess of that boot lid, hasn't it?
It has. It's not the shape it originally was.
Amazing it hasn't popped the rear screen out.
So he's gone back out into the race. We'll see how it feels, I guess. And whether it's worth persisting to the end of the race. Obviously, he's lost probably a lap or so because of that. It's shown now 36th on the timing screen. I guess that he'd made 1 stop, hadn't he? So that will have presumably served as his second mandatory stop as well. So that's fortuitous. In a situation like that, you can at least utilise the stop for some maintenance.
It may have taken no more time at all to rip that stuff off and send him on his way again.
They've had to lash that together, I think, the hatchback, according to Josh Barrett.
'88, that's the Lakey Taylor car. It's missing headlights, sort of shedding its organs left, right, and centre.
It is, and it's heading into the pit lane. I'm not surprised. It's obviously going in for more surgery. Yet this bit's just falling off the car left, right, and centre.
Divesting itself of parts.
Yeah, by the time the driver gets into the pit lane, the whole car will have disintegrated around him, and he'll be sitting there in his seat, clutching the steering wheel. But that's the car that has been leading, is the leader.
As he arrived, the front valance fell off, dropped into the road.
Yeah, well, that's the front and the back.
That's sorted.
It weighs about 40 kilos less than it did at the start of the race now. Looks like Ross Riley's going to get out. Probably not surprised. And Gary Taylor will get in for the remainder of the race. So that car, scrutineers having a look at that. As you'd hope they would, really, in the circumstances. There's Matthew Hycock. Where is he now? He's 24th. So he's gradually climbing up the timing screen. Presumably his drivers are making their second stops. As well as because he's making up places on track, of course. So we'll see where he shakes out of this. But now Lewis Tyndall and Tom Sibley are appearing at the top of the timer screen, because I think some of the quick drivers like Will Abraham, because you can see from Will Abraham's long lap time, he's made another pit stop there. So just as he was getting towards the sharp end, he's made a second stop.
Yeah, it's have a decent bunch they have as well, because Seddon has, Ethan Hall has, Hudson Greensall car, that's been a stop as well. Offord, Priestwood. So around half distance, isn't it? The 45 laps-ish is about half distance, isn't it?
That's right. One person that we've missed this weekend in 750 Motor Club race happening is Nicky Emerson, who's recovering from an operation at home. Missing a couple of meetings, which is most unusual, but best wishes to Nicky. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. And 40 minutes now left in this race. There's Abraham having made another stop. Shown 9th on the timing screen at the moment. I'm just seeing he is, I think ahead of everyone I'd expect him to be. He must have also made their stops. Priestwood, Woodward, Millward and Bayliss.
Seddon, of course, is the next one behind Abraham.
Yes,
in 5.
Missed of that. I think the Gordons have got another stop to make. They're actually ahead of Abraham at the moment. I think confirmation of Highcott has made 2 stops now. And he did serve his 30-second extra at the first stop.
I'm interested to see what the situation is with the Hudson Greensaw 888, whether they've made 2 stops as well.
Yes, that's cars showing 12th.
Which is kind of, if they've stopped, could be the 3rd or 4th of the runners overall. There's the 888, and that's Silver Crash Helmet at the moment, which must mean it's Hudson. So has that made its 2nd stop? Greensaw did the middle stint.
Well, but Greensaw would have been in the car longer than that, you would think. So I think they've only made 1 stop.
Yeah.
It would be my...
Greensaw chases towards the end normally, but then again, he does like to, if he's mentoring somebody, to give that the owner driver as much running as possible.
He's not been in yet, Josh Barrett confirms, Nigel Greensaw, so treble 8 car staying out there.
Look for the Hans Stuck replica crash helmet, or that's Hans Stuck wears Nigel Greensaw replica crash helmet, which is possible. So it's a metallic blue with yellow stars on it. Tyndall and Sibley go back to the top.
Yep, and at the moment, second on the screens is the 24 car, Matty Taylor, Ben Gundry, and Doug Inglis, 3 drivers we often see out in other categories with us, notably the Armed Forces Race Challenge. There's the 75 car.
With a bonnet that's popping up and down.
Yeah, it is. That's the car that's leading, isn't it? Tyndall and Sibley. Another of the Anthony Seddon Racing prepared cars. Very colourful.
Yeah, the bonnet pins aren't done. It pops up, and when he braked the hairpin, the bonnet went down to where it should be.
Yeah, so that might be something that he's aware of. If not, then it might be something that the scrutineers would like to see
rectified.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's now opening up active aero.
Yeah, and what you don't want is too much air to get into it to slam into the windscreen.
Up and into the windscreen.
You do see that occasionally happen. So 50 laps in the books for Tyndall. There's the car that we think is still in with a good shout of the overall victory. The 209 car of Will Abraham, 5th at the moment. We think now having made both of its stops.
Recent lap for Almeida Souza, a 61.02. Matt Priestwood 61.31. Lou Woodward 61.38. They're right on it.
Car going slowly there on screen is 83, Brad Smith.
Right.
Now that was the last car still running on the timing screens, but I wonder if that's going to be the case for much longer.
Taylor and Gundry and company 24, so 61.28 last time through, which is right on the money. And it is all about consistency, isn't it? Staying out of trouble, being consistent, and doing your stops efficiently.
Well, that's right. Yeah, it is a 60-second mandatory stop, so you want to get in and out as efficiently as you can, not waste any time there. But equally, you want to make sure that the stops are regulation compliant. You don't want to be a few moments short and have to serve a penalty to make up for that. 47 off. That's the common 27th position. Connor Anderson, 15-second penalty already has been accrued by the driver from Whitstable, so in his home county. But off onto the circuit at Graham Hill Bend, a long way off. I don't think it's going to cause a problem because, I don't know, 60 yards off the circuit at Graham Hill Bend there. Pretty much up against the barrier at the top of the runoff area. So I think that might well be the 4th retirement from this race. There's Lou Woodward, 87. Now he's showing 9th on the timing screen, but might well be about 4th net, I reckon. We'll know for certain in about 20 minutes when the pit lane window closes and everyone will have made their stops. Because then the timing screen should start to make a bit more sense. He's getting past Gary Taylor here on the inside line. Car that's held together by cable ties. Now the 88 car, and that was leading, is now 31st. Possibly they've made both of their stops in rapid succession. .173 Mac Priestwood then is in 8th place. Another of the drivers in contention for a podium finish here in this GAZ Shocks 116 trophy here at the Brands Hatch Indy circuit. Just 18 years of old, Mac from Halifax. First season of car racing. And he's racing in the car that's won a number of races in the past. Not in that livery. It's not a familiar livery, but it's won races with Sam Carrington-Yates and Mark Sullivan in previous seasons.
Clodhopper Racing. It's a heavy shoe, a clodhopper, isn't it?
It is. It's not, you know, suggesting to me great pace or nimbleness or verve. James Dunn in the 252 car, drive from Blackburn. Is the clodhopper. Now Matthew Hycock has done a new fastest lap of the race there, a 60.35 in the treble 5 car. He now appears on the first page of the timing screen again. He's got that 15-second penalty, but he has just done the best lap of the race, 60.35. A couple of hundredths quicker than Will Abraham managed earlier on. Much earlier on in the race. There is Hycock now, having just done that fastest lap. He may well be now past the 52 car, I think he is, and catching Pete Brand in 80. Oh no, it's not, he's still behind the 52 car. Oh, who's that? Oh, that's off. I need to wait for the. It's the.
Is that Almeida Souza?
It is, the 111 car, yeah.
That's the Brazilian challenge is over.
It is. Beached at the foot of Paddock Hill Bend, not that far off the edge of the circuit, just out of that camera shot actually, but nevertheless in an interesting position. Safety car boards are out, so it took a few minutes, Marcus, for my
58 minutes safety board, safety car.
Yeah, but that car in the gravel trap, safety car is required to get it out, so just short of the hour mark we have our first safety car period of the race. So no pit stops can be made if you're already in the pits. That's okay, you can complete your stop, as one of the cars is at the moment, a couple of cars actually. But safety car coming out of the gap at the exit of Graham Hill Bend.
Will this become a lottery, or will there be a strong effort be made to locate the race leader?
Well, I think they will try to get to the leader, which is the 24 car at the moment. Because you're going to go what's on the time screen, not the driver that we think is nominally in the lead, which is Will Abraham. They'll go by what's on the time screen, so it'll be Matty Taylor, Ben Gundry and Doug Inglis. Let's go down to the pit lane. Josh Barrett's down there, I think.
Yeah, we're down here with Nigel Greenswell. Nigel, yet to get into the car. I think your first outing in 116 Trophy. How do you think about this series?
Yeah, it looks absolutely fabulous. You know, the quality of the racing looks really good. Spirit in the paddock is good, and nice cars as well. And the most important thing is David Hudson, I'm coaching and I've brought into the sport. I've recommended the 116 as a starting point for him, and he's absolutely loving it. He really is. So that's the most important bit.
Tell us a bit about David's background.
He's just done a few trad days,
Yeah.
and then his first race was at Silverstone a couple of weeks ago. I was away in America racing, so I couldn't be with him on his first race, but we're here this weekend, and yeah, he's loving it, and his lap times are very good, so we're making progress, and yeah, really developing his racecraft and his race skills.
Tell us a bit about what the sort of things you do to coach him coming up to a race weekend.
So we have 2 seats in the car, so I'll spend a lot of time sitting with him, coaching him. We have an intercom so I can chat to him, so I can observe his driving and feel what it's like, and then we swap seats, and then he sits and watches how I do it, and that's part of the skills. And then we've got video on board as well, so we use that to do the coaching.
Obviously you've driven all sorts of cars over the years. The driving style of these cars, how do they sort of compare to anything else?
It's just another race car.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fortunate that I race all kinds of stuff. So this is my 27th race of this year, and in so many different cars. So it's yeah, it's just another race car to go racing.
Are you back here next week?
Yes, for the Masters Historics. I'm in 4 cars next weekend. So yeah, I'm just trying to remember now. I'm in a TVR, a Mustang, a McLaren old Can-Am car, and a Ford Capri.
How do you find remembering which car you're in at any time? You've done it so many long, it doesn't really matter nowadays.
Well, I have to think about it, and then the only way I know whether it's left or right-hand drive is where I stand in the pit lane for the driver change.
I'll let you get ready and thank you for having a
Thank you.
word. So Nigel Greenstall about to get into the 888 car that David Hudson has started.
Thanks, Josh. Good to hear from Nigel Greenstall there. And yeah, he's yet to get into the car, and he's got to wait now for this safety car period to be over before he can get in. We're getting a bit close to that being the case, because the snatch vehicle is moving back to its position, having dragged the 111 car of Antonio Almeida Souza further towards the barrier at Paddock Hill Bend. I think that was the only car that they were worried about for the purpose of this safety car period. And so we have, I think, 35 cars circulating now behind the safety car. And who has it picked up? It has indeed picked up the car that is at the top of the timing screen, the 24 car Taylor Gundry and Inglis. There it is. Safety car lights are out. So we're about to go racing once again. 27 3/4 minutes left to go. And as they head through clearways, safety car dives in. The 24 car is going to head over the line to get the race back underway. The Army Motorsport car. And that has got 58 laps under its belt now. I think has another stop to make before the end. 10.26 seconds clear of Christopher and Jack Godden in second place. I think they must have another stop to make as well. Will Abraham, though, is third, 16 seconds now behind the leader, and I think he has made both of his stops. He's 5 seconds ahead of Anthony Seddon, who's 4 seconds clear of the Hudson and Greenstall car, which has got to stop again. And the gap from Abraham to Matt Priestwood, who I think is probably the third of the cars that have stopped twice, is about 15 seconds. So, racing back underway. Hudson can now stop to let Greenstall in the car if he so wishes. You can see a couple of cars in the pit lane that sort of dived immediately back into the pits as soon as the safety car was cleared. There's one of the cars in the pits, the Spy Motorsport car. That's a team that has run cars in Caterham racing as well. Peter Keane it is. It's that one. The Jack and Christopher Godden cars just come into the pits, I can see as well, from what was second place. So that will drop back down the order. There is, I think, Christopher getting out and Jack getting in for the final stint of race. Yeah, that's Christopher out of the car now. Will help Jack to adjust the belts to get back in the race. There's the Treble 8 car, so Nigel Greenstall about to get into that in the background as well. And we see Hudson vacating the car. And the team just helping Nigel to get in. So 25 minutes left here at Brands Hatch on the Indy circuit in this GAZ Shocks 116 trophy race. And it is Will Abraham, I think, but therefore it is the nearly. Oh, there's a car that has just gone off onto the gravel at Paddock Bend. It's the Theo Millward and Chris Bayliss car. It's not that far away from where the other car ended up for Antonio Almeida Souza, but I suspect with the rear bodywork hanging off, we might be due another safety car again. So that was a car that was one of the quicker ones out there, the Millward and Bayliss car. Not sure which driver's aboard at the moment. Either way, the race over for car number 80, I would think. And yellow flags coming out. There goes Nigel Greensall back out into the race. Well, out into the race for the first time in his case, treble 8. And the car will be, I think, fully outside the top 20 by the time the timer screen updates itself, but I'm sure Nigel will get it back in. 232 has been off. He's going to rejoin the race up there at McLaren. That's another of the cars that have got 2 drivers on board. Charles Smith starting, Jonathan Baker possibly in the car at the moment. So 6 seconds now the gap, because Will Abraham has gone into the lead. I think the Taylor and Gundry and Inglis car has pitted. So Abraham leading then by 6 seconds in car 209 from number 5 Anthony Seddon in second place. Number 173 Matt Priestwood is third, 9 seconds adrift. Number 4 is 87 Larry Woodward, but he has a 5-second penalty now for exceeding track limits. 17 seconds behind the leader, plus 5 makes 22. So, Abraham it is, on screen now, the Turn 9 car with the Union flag style livery on the roof. He's going to be tough to catch here, I think, given the pace that he's shown in the early stages of the race. We've got double waved yellows now because we've got the snatch vehicle on course to haul the Bayliss and Millward car out of the way. There's another car off the circuit as well. That's the 305 car, which is the Sykes, Brown and Fountain vehicle. But it's yet local yellow flags covering the first corner, Paddock Hill Bend, while the snatch vehicle does its work. Abraham to Seddon, the gap went out by half a second that time. Huge queue of cars arriving into the safety car zone at Paddock Hill Bend.
Priestwood took a bunch of time out of Seddon last time, didn't he? 60.79. Took about 6/10 away.
This is hectic. Up towards Drizzt, it looks like the first lap of the race, doesn't it? 86 making some ground there, which is Pete Brand. And he's running in 6th place at the moment, is Pete, who is 36 years of age, engineer from Malden in Essex. His first season of racing, having done some bike racing in the past, in about 10 years or so ago. Getting some car racing experience, would like to progress to some faster cars in due course. It's a self-run car, Brand Brothers Racing. Be able to have the winter on a cold, wet driveway, he says.
It shows dedication, doesn't it?
It does. Now, there you can see Mac Priestwood, and he is close to Anthony Seddon again, I reckon. Well, actually, the gap's gone out a little bit that time, and it's only half a second now between them. They've got another car between them. There's Highcock, who's showing 8th on the screen.
Yeah, Seddon was very quick last time through, 61.36. So he's got a bit of a hurry on.
Yeah, But still 7 seconds behind Will Abraham there, who is just going through shot now. He's just behind Matthew Highcock actually, so he's about to, I think, put a lap here on Matthew Highcock, the winner from Silverstone. Literally they're bumper to bumper now. There, Highcock in the grey car, immediately behind him, the 209 car. Actually, he's just allowed the 52 car to get between them, the Compton and McKinley car. That's our race leader, Will Abraham, did a 60.95 that time through. Seddon did a 62.14, Priestwood a 62.05, so gap now 8 seconds from first to second. But he has got all of this traffic in front of him now, which might slow him up a bit. So he goes past 52. Highcock is the next car he will be trying to challenge.
There he goes, up alongside.
And he does get through there. Highcock will presumably know that he's a lap down. He's also got a 15-second penalty for exceeding track limits early on in the race as well. So Abraham now is going to try and pass the 25 car, I think that is.
Highcock sit right with him.
Yeah, as you'd expect, they're very similar in terms of their lap times. In fact, Highcock has gone slightly quicker during the course of the race, hasn't he? 60.35. So unusual that he's lapped. Now it's the 28 car that they are going past, which is Melissa Bexley. She's driving solo. Here's Melissa, 30-year-old mechanic from Sunderland, in the JC Racing prepared car, and she is in 28th position in car 28. Pit lane window is about to close in 3 minutes time, so anyone that hasn't served both of their stops will need to do so pronto. .44 car there is Richard Phillips, who's in 32nd, having had some dramas during the course of the race.
Yeah, he came right up the outside there of the lead car. Abraham in 209 leads from Seddon in 5, Priestwood in 173, the white car with the Dayglow pink stripes up it. Woodward in 87 is 4th. Freddie Tatham in the white and red kind of quasi Marlborough car is in 5th, and Pete Brand is in car 86. He's 6th overall at the moment. Highcock is 7th in 555.
Now we understand that Team 5 car 5 Anthony Seddon is going to be penalised post-race because one of his stops was short, and he's going to have time added on, which will certainly drop him behind Matt Priestwood and possibly even Louis Woodward.
Yes, there's nothing between them on track, so between Seddon and Priestwood, 0.3 of a second. Woodward is another 8 seconds behind, but he has that extra 5. There's Priestwood.
Yeah, it's just
173.
It's just gone ahead of Seddon actually
Yes.
on the road anyway, so it renders that a little academic. But I think it might be 16 seconds that will be added to Seddon's time. So obviously a bit of a mistake with the timing of that pit stop. I mean, they could have remediated that before the pit lane window opened by serving another 60-second pit stop, but obviously it makes more sense just to accept that you're going to get a penalty added to your time.
That's the Clodhopper car, isn't it? The outside, sort of the Golf livery, blue and orange. 252. James Dunn.
Jez Banks and Daniel Perry getting the black and white driving standards flag shown at them, presumably for exceeding track limits. There has been a few drivers that have seen the black and white flag during the course of the race, some with penalties as well.
Into the last 15 minutes, that's the Povey car sitting behind 7. Clodhopper moving up.
It's a very busy track for 75 minutes into the race, isn't it? Even though we've not got the full 40 that we started with.
It's like M25 in Russia.
I've got to head that way later. Let's go down to the pit lane. Josh Barrett's there.
Yeah, I'm just catching up with Steve Soper, who's watching on. Steve, you got to drive a similar car to this at Silverstone. How did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was very good actually. I got talked into it. I wasn't planning on doing that, but I got talked in, so it was fun. It was good fun.
I think you're working with Toby. How's all that going?
Yeah, very well. I mean, he's his sort of second season, so he's been at it for about a year, but he's making great progress. So no, it's very, very good, and that's why I'm here, obviously, trying to support him and help him in any way. But I think we had a bit of an incident, so we were up to sort of a reasonable position, but now we're back to 20th, I think. So I don't know what happened, but he obviously hit the barrier, so which is a shame. So we lost a lot more time in the pit stop than we should have done.
The team did a good job though, because the car was quite badly damaged when it came in, but they quickly sorted it out.
Yeah, I think Toby thought it was over and was about to get out, and we told him to stay where he was, and they strapped it all back together, and it's fine. It's only superficial, so it seems to be going okay.
Do you still enjoy being involved in motorsport in these various different ways?
Sorry?
Do you still enjoy being involved in motor racing?
Yeah, I mean, it's better if I'm driving, but obviously he's an old friend of mine and an ex-business partner, so I sort of got rode in really, but and I don't mind, you know, I wasn't doing anything else. I'm here next week with the Masters, so I'm here sort of 2 weeks in a row, which is probably a bit too much, but there you go.
I'm here next week as well. Out in the Mustang, I presume, that weekend?
Yeah, I hope it's okay. I'll come and find me after qualifying and I'll tell you. So we're still trying to get that one performing like the old one. The old one was lovely, the old red and gold one. And I can't quite get this brand new one to go as quick, but hopefully we'll be there now.
Is it that sort of era of car you like to race nowadays?
I don't know, you know, I'm old, so I need to race old cars, don't I? So, but it's all fun. It's all, you know, better than sitting at home watching BTC on the TV.
Obviously, Brands Hatch are promoting this new Super Touring Car meeting for this year. Is that something you would be keen in if somebody offered you a drive?
Yeah, I was meant to be doing it, but now the car that I was going to drive is up for sale, so I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, I like racing anything, but I don't want to race anything that's, you know, not competitive. As long as it's competitive, I don't mind.
Obviously, you had your big incident here at Brands Hatch, but before that, did you have some good memories of racing here at Brands?
Yeah, I've got great memories of this, especially the Grand Prix circuit. It's a great circuit. I don't like the Indy at all, but the Grand Prix is fantastic. So, you know, a lot of driver, it brings out the best drivers on the Grand Prix circuit. It's demanding and everything, so it's good.
And it's a circuit that's not been changed too dramatically over the years?
No, it's pretty similar, isn't it? Yeah, there are a couple of little bits that have made it a bit quicker. I think Dingledell and the bottom bend's slightly different, but otherwise it's good.
Thanks for catching up with Steve, and good luck next week. So there's Steve Soper, who's working with Toby Partridge this weekend in the 116 Trophy.
Thanks, Josh. And Toby Partridge is 18th at the moment, with 11 minutes of the race to go. There's our leader, Will Abraham. He now leads by 11 seconds. He's just improved his best lap of the race to a 60.31. That's a lap record, by the way, because Jack Godden held the lap record before this weekend with a 60.64. So Abraham leads by about 11 seconds now after 74 laps, from Matt Priestwood in second and Louis Woodward third.
An 888 Nigel Greensall did a 60.4 last time through. So that car, the 888's in 16th. David Hudson's car, Nigel Greensall at the wheel.
Yeah, I think that's just about the third fastest driver that we've seen out there, behind Abraham and Matthew Hycock, hasn't it?
That's right. And there's only 900 splitting the three of them.
Yeah, absolutely right. So Hycock, by the way, is in 5th position. Car treble 5. He's a lap down on the leaders, and he's got 15 seconds to be added to his time. Freddie Tatham, who was late making his stop, he's there in 4th place. So his strategy worked out well. Well, that was all very tight, wasn't it? Matt Priestwood and the number 1 car of Richard Lakey.
Greensall, 60.39. He's improved by 100th of a second over his previous lap.
Well, there's about 10 laps to go, so if by the time he gets to the end, he might get the
have
lap. Yeah. Here's Priestwood cutting the grass there and trimming the fingernails of anyone on the pit wall, I think, as he got through ahead of number 1, Richard Lakey, who's a lap down, 1 different laps. 75 laps completed for Priestwood, 74 for Lakey. Don't need to be battling quite as close as they are, I don't think.
And the 57 Toby Partridge with all the missing sort of back end on it. That's still running strongly.
Yeah, 17th now, so another place made up. Various drivers with penalties. I think, what can I say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams have picked up penalties, although 2 of those aren't running anymore. The Millward and Bayliss and the Conor Anderson cars both out of it. So their penalties for track limits infringements are somewhat academic. So 8.5 minutes left. Looks like Will Abraham is going to get the win here from Matt Priestwood and Louis Woodward. If you add Abraham and Priestwood's ages together, it just adds up to a little bit more than Louis Woodward. He's 36, I think Abraham 20 and Priestwood 18. Podium could change yet, though. I suspect it won't, because unless there's a problem for one of those 3 drivers, because the gap from Woodward to Tatham in 4th is quite big, and then everyone else is a lap down after the 70 or 82 minutes that we've now had in this race.
Yeah, Greensall's next target in the 888 is Anthony Sutton in 5.
Yep. Who? Yeah. Do we know why he dropped down the order quite so much? Did he come in for another stop? Because he was obviously in 2nd or 3rd on the screen, wasn't he, at one point, Anthony Sutton?
That's right.
Either way.
In fact, I think Greensall is ahead of Seddon. Seddon's just out of our shot.
Just having a look. I think you might be right. Yeah, treble 8 car comes through now just ahead on the road of Seddon. So he's up to 15th now. And could make up a few more places before the end here.
Yeah, he's got about 4 seconds, just under 4 seconds to make up to the next driver, and 6 to the Goddens in 71. Yeah, I think we could see a top 12-ish for that combo.
Yeah, it's possible. There's the Godden car. Now that will be tough to beat, because Jack, as we say, is quick. Does have, or did have before this, the lap record. Yellow flags waving because there's a car off at McLaren. And I can't see, I think it's one of the DTO cars. Yes, it is, the 101 car.
It's got going again.
That's the Ben Wilshire World Tyndall car, so not sure which of them it is at the wheel at the moment. But the DTO car is back out into the race in the yellow flags.
Lots of cars with novice crosses on the boot in this series, so it's really attracting a good cross-section of competitors from the Nigel Greensalls, who will do 50 or 60 races in the year, maybe even more than that.
Yes.
To novices.
No, and it is an excellent way to get novices involved, and indeed Greensall recommended it, didn't he?
Yeah, it's a lot of seat time, isn't it?
Yeah, lots of seat time. Evenly matched cars, not something that's got an excess of power or anything like that might prove a
not huge running costs,
no.
And you can get the spares.
Yeah, there's a lot going for it, and that's why the grids are bursting at the seams. It's why, or one of the reasons why the 116 Sprint Series has been introduced as well, to offer an alternative, have more track time for the drivers. After this, the series goes to Croft on June 25th. No Sprint Series there, but there is at Snetterton in July, and it's Silverton International in August and Alton Park in October to complete the season. There's the 87 car of Louis Woodward, who's third. I think about 11 seconds behind Mac Priestwood now.
No suspension secrets about this car.
No, unlike the 120 Coupe that he ran to victory yesterday. So Woodward heading into McLaren with only one headlamp working. And they turn their way, or he turns his way, onto the Brabham straight once again, the start and finish straight, to put another lap in the book. In third place he is, 28 seconds now behind the leader. Will Abraham, who's still putting competitive lap times in a 60.6 last time through. He's firing in good lap times.
More than 20 competitors in the 60-second bracket.
Yeah. Of those in the top 20, I think only one that we can see hasn't achieved that accomplishment. Simon Hopcroft Lopez in 12th place in the 320 car.
1400ths shy.
There's a car in the pit lane. And see if we can work out who that is. It is the 83 car. It is in for
Brad
an
Smith.
unscheduled shot. Brad Smith, the Fly Motorsport car. Yes, Fly Motorsport's Chris Slater. Having a look at what's going on. Seeing if a problem can be remedied to get Brad back out into the race. There's Abraham though. 3 minutes of the race left. 16 seconds clear now. He's looking very good for his win. Of course, it does mean he'll have an extra 30 seconds to serve in the pits at the next race at Croft. Oh, there we go. Hudson and Greensall. Well, Greensall has just done the best lap of the race. A 60.28. He's in 15th position. And we thought that might happen towards the end of the race. It has done. That expands a little bit of clear air. And he's now within 2 seconds of the 14th place car. But only 2.5 minutes to go, so it's touch and go.
That's his problem. There's about 3 laps to go in this for him. There he is on screen, 888, Nigel Greensall.
Yep. Vastly experienced in all kinds of cars. 4 different cars he's racing here next week.
And he's running with the window half open. If the window closed, he'd find another few hundredths.
Exactly, he would.
At least if what Will Humphreys told me about his classic stock hatch yesterday was true.
Yeah, when they
lost the passenger window.
They did. And he was shocked how much slower it was in a straight line, which shouldn't have been a huge surprise. But yeah, driver's window is partly open, isn't it? There we are, you can see that now on the treble 8 car. Perhaps Nigel thinking his comfort is a priority over outright speed. So Abraham's gone across the line again to complete 83 laps, so we'll get 2 more out of it, so it's going to be an 85 lap race, I think.
So given you had that safety car situation, your original prediction of 88 was bang on target.
Yeah, not too far off. He is 16 and a bit seconds clear of Mac Priestwood, who's 13 seconds clear of Louis Woodward. I think those now the only 3 cars on the leading lap. There's Will Abraham then, so I think he's going to get the last lap board this time. Yep, we can see that being prepared. Up to the line he will come. And the last lap board goes out then for Will Abraham. He's still got Matthew Highcock right behind him.
I'm glad to see that with a little encouragement, Simon Hopcroft Lopez has broken the 61 seconds.
Excellent. He's just on a 60.91. So that's, I think, everyone in the top 20 that's done that now, as far as we can see. And he's still there in 13th place, so it's a good drive from him, actually, because he wasn't that far up in the sprint series races today.
Someone's just getting out of the way. It's the Fly Motorsport car, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one that was in the pits a moment ago. So Will Abraham halfway around his final lap then, turning into Surtees for the last time in this GAZ 116 trophy race. The 20-year-old from Hungerford is going to taste 116 trophy glory for the first time this season. He's out of the final corner, up to the line he goes, and he takes the checkered flag, and Will Abraham in car 209 wins the GAZ 116 trophy round here at Brands Hatch on the Indy circuit by a pretty comfortable margin in the end. CSC Racing prepared car has done him good service. Over the line to take second place, there goes number 173, Mac Priestwood. And then third will be Louis Woodward. He's just coming up to the line now with one headlamp on his car, and he takes the checkered flag. He is 30 seconds behind the race. He's got 5 seconds to be added to his time. There's no other finishers on the lead lap, so he will be third. And Matthew Highcock, well, he's going to be fourth on the road, but he, I think, is going to drop to about 7th by the time 15 seconds have been added to his time. So actually even the 30 seconds extra penalty had to serve for the victory at Silverstone hasn't made the difference in this race. He was a lap down anyway, and Will Abraham mark as a worthy winner.
Yeah, very much so, and good to see a couple of really promising young drivers come out on top of this quality field.
Yep, so let's have a look at the results now from that race. It'll take a while to go through all of them, but Will Abraham 85 laps in the book in car 209, winning from number 173 Mac Priestwood in second place and number 87 Louis Woodward in third. And then we'll have Matthew Highcock relegated to I think about 7th in the end in the 555 car behind 89 Freddie Tatham, 86 Pete Brand and 10 Paul Whiten and Lewis Whiten Turner. Jez Banks, number 707, will be 8th. Ahead of 52, the Compton McKinley car. 10th will be number 1, Richard Lakey. Then it's the Povies up from the back of the grid to 11th. Then the Goddens in 12th. Simon Hopcroft Lopez 13th. And the Taylor Gundry and Inglis car 14th. And then we'll let the rest of these scroll through. Greensaw, you could see, in the Treble 8 car, got his car, shared with David Hudson, up to 16th. He got the fastest lap as well in the end. Just had a Topi Partridge, who's been coached by Steve Soper this weekend. Despite the damage he had with that off into the barriers, he finished 17th. Keep scrolling through behind down past Melissa Bexley, who was 27th. The Tyndall and Wilshire car, despite that off towards the end, was 28th. Ross Riley and Gary Taylor led for a while, but were 4 laps down in the end in 29th place. And you could see there finally in 40th position, only 1 lap completed, sadly, for Sandro Ballesteros, and Matty Street didn't get a run. So let's head down to the pit lane now and hear from Josh Barrett.
So we're down here after that busy 116 trophy race. Will Abraham getting congratulated by all his family at the moment. And we'll let him take his helmet off, and then we'll be able to have a word with him. In second place, Mac Priestwood. In third, Louis Woodward. So all solo driven cars in this 90-minute race, making it onto the podium. Race winner then, Will Abraham, just taking his helmet and balaclava off. And he's just getting congratulated now by the other competitors on the podium. So James Stanley will give Will the winner's card. Well done, Will. A great drive, and looks like that meant a lot to you guys.
Yeah, it did. It was really, really hard work, but waiting a while. Yeah, just enjoying it.
Obviously, quite a long time to drive around here. Did you find you look pretty fine after that? So is that not too bad?
I mean, the car was doing all right. I was getting pretty hot in there. Yeah, but it was good. Loved it.
Apart from the safety car and the pit stops, there's not really any time to rest.
No, and the safety car's not even that long compared to the rest of the other races. So it wasn't until the marshals, I suppose, but yeah.
Obviously, lots of cars out there. Was that a problem at all?
It was coming back through, but it's bonus. I think I did a pretty good job of it.
You did well done. Congratulations. So Will Abraham, our winner in second place was Mac Priestwood. Mac, congratulations, second place. That's a good result.
Yep, definitely. Shed chuffed, so
Again, lots going on, I guess, throughout that race.
yeah, definitely interesting race. At the beginning, got away, but then made a mistake, then lost a couple of places, gained them, then the pits came into consideration, and it was just getting your head down and hoping for the best. So
And obviously, you're new to racing. What have you done in the past?
I've raced Polaris buggies, SSS Racing, won the championship 3 times, so a bit different to dirt, no jumps, but I love it, honestly, it's really good.
You're only your second meeting, so you must be you're going well.
Yeah, definitely. Second meeting, so yeah.
You got plans for the future, or you're sticking with this at the moment?
Hopefully big plans for the future, we don't know, but
Well, good luck with all of that, and well done today.
Thank you very much.
And then over here, Louis in third place, back on the podium, Louis.
Nice to see you again, another day.
That race a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Obviously, coming into it, we had a 10-second success penalty from Silverstone. So I tried to get out the front and get away, but these young lads, they're quick. So made hard work of it. And then obviously the safety car, not really sure whether it helped or hindered, but we're here. So.
Obviously, the strategy now with the new rules and it not pitted under safety car makes things quite difficult to work out.
No, I personally think it's a better thing.
Yeah.
You haven't got everyone diving in, and it's better for the team and everything. So
Working out what to do seems not easy to know what to do.
I don't think there's a single strategy that works, but yeah, we'll head to Croft and see how we get on.
Best of luck with that, and well done on third
Thank you.
place.
Cheers.
So there's our top 3 from the 116 Trophy race. Up next, we go back to sprint racing with the Race Parts Historic 750 Formula Series.